All right, welcome back to another Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It is Monday, August 23rd, starting a brand new week. If last week wasn't exhausting enough, get ready for this week. But no, it's been a great week. We're very blessed to be here. Got 3 spectacular guests for today's show. So why don't we just jump right into it and get going with one of my favorites here. Young lady, please introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Hi, I'm Claire Santillana. I'm the president of Victoria Art League.
Victoria, and you have got your thumb on the pulse of all the art stuff going on in Victoria, and we're very grateful for you because there is a lot happening in the Victoria art scene. And so why don't you start off and you tell me all about it. The floor is yours, young lady.
Okay. Well, so the next event coming up is the Art Walk on September 10th, and that's from 4 to 10 p.m. We did have between 500 and 800 people come out last time. There's a trolley that will take you to each stop for free. And if you do make it out to each stop and get a stamp, you will get a chance to win prizes. So, yeah.
And that was an ultra successful event that you guys. I mean, I was watching all the social media posts and all of that, and it was really cool to see how many people showed up and went out there, and most of the businesses downtown participated in that as well, didn't they?
A lot of businesses did. We were really grateful. They even have food, so it's worth coming. They have food. Some of them have wine.
There you go. Lead with the food and wine. That'll always. That's a great setup.
And the artists are really talented that are involved. And they do have, there's some reasonably priced artists. There are some high-end artists that are, it's worth just seeing their art in person, because seeing something in person is always more impressive than just seeing a picture of it.
So let's walk it back a little bit. What exactly, for somebody who's never experienced an art walk or didn't see social media when this first very successful event went down, what in the world is an art walk? And walk me through it, and let's let everybody know what that is.
So I got inspired by Colorado Springs, where I used to live, and they would open up their whole downtown, but they have a lot of art studios. So the art walk, in a sense, is where you walk to each studio and you get to see the featured artists. But we don't have a ton of art studios in Victoria. So Main Street Program and myself and the Art League, we kind of did a twist where we opened up businesses. So that's a little different than what's been done before. So for our art walk, they are regular businesses like Chesnick Furniture, Pacton Vols Office, Vela Farms, just to name a few. They open their doors, they allow the artists to display their artwork, and they actually leave the artwork up for a whole month. But the only time you're eligible to win those prizes is if you come out to the art walk, and that's when it's popping.
Well, no, really I like that spin that you put on it, because in addition to highlighting the art and the artists that we have in town, you're also putting eyes on the businesses, and it's a collaboration between the two that, I've always been a big fan of local helping local and everybody supporting each other, and I think that's a really neat deal to, one, you encourage, traffic count, people walking down there and having fun and opening everything up to the arts, but additionally you've seen these, Chestnut's been there, 101 years downtown or something. I mean, that's pretty impressive to A, stay in business that long, but to be in a downtown location and all that, and to get all these business, I can't get like 4 people to do things, it's like herding cats with me, and for you to be able to get downtown, you guys all working together like that, that's pretty phenomenal.
I was in awe of the support. I mean, the community supported the artists, the businesses supported the artists supported the artists. It was beautiful. And so I really hope that same energy, it comes on September 10th. I think it will.
That's awesome. And so leading up to that, to kind of get ready, you guys are doing a cleanup event too, or something. Tell me about that.
So at the Art League, we are doing a cleanup event, and it's on August 28th. And we are going to just beautify the building. We're hoping to put some landscaping in, so we definitely need help planting flowers up front. We're hoping to just really, knock down all the cobwebs, because there's some really tall areas, and a lot of our members are older, and it's hard for them to do the cleanups like they used to. So we're just hoping to reach out to the community and get a little more involvement.
Now, with the Art League, is that something that, are you guys seeking membership? Are you seeking donations? Tell me a little bit about the Art League.
Oh, yes. So we do have a lot of opportunities for all ages of members. We have free classes for members, and then we have discounts on classes for members, and anyone's welcome to be a member. You don't have to be an artist to be a member, and we have different levels of membership as well. So it's really inexpensive to be a member. It's only $40 for the whole year.
Oh, that's not bad at all. And how often, forgive me if you already said, how often are you all's meetings, or do y'all have meetings and stuff like that?
We do have quarterly member meetings, but then every month we have our artist hangout. And so like this Saturday, if anyone wanted to come, it's mindless watercolor.
It's what?
Mindless watercolor.
Like mindless?
Yes.
Okay.
With Dawn Marshall. So she was telling me her inspiration is kind of letting go. Because watercolor is a really non-controlled almost. Like you can get really loose with watercolor and let go of everything. And she's going to play some music and kind of help people just relax.
Sounds like something
point.
I could just let go on the deal and not.
Yeah, you should come to that one. That one's gonna be fun.
When we did the Nave episode of Meet Victoria, which you can check out, that was one of the things is I did that watercolor class and it was those little kids made me look bad because they were really good at what some of them did but two it was way more fun than I thought. You know, a watercolor class, okay. You know, it didn't really initially pique my interest. But I got really into that, and I still have my watercolor painting that I went home. My wife put it up on the refrigerator, like she was real proud of me.
It was really good.
Yeah, and so we had a ton of fun. And so, no, I would encourage anybody, you know, that's great that you guys are over so many different things and have your hands in so many different pots because it's, you know, the arts are everywhere from music to portraits to just, you know, all of this. And so, no, I think it's really neat that you're combining everything. What am I forgetting before I let you get out of here? We covered the cleanup. We got that. We got the art walk. We'll have you back on closer to that to when we get a little bit older. Do you guys need anybody for the art walk? I said art run. I meant art walk. Yeah. I don't know how to walk. I run, but.
Well, you could run from store to store if you wanted to. Well, I'll be like, hi, Kayla.
Yeah, I'll probably be sweaty. No, not good. But do y'all need art? You know, what can we do to support it right now?
Okay, so we are taking donations to support because what we want to do is for artists that don't have enough easels, we'd love to buy them easels. We really want the bios to be nice in a frame. The website we have for that does cost money. So if anyone is interested in sponsoring, and there is a sponsorship package where they can have their information on every flyer, every map, you know. So if you're interested in sponsoring or if you're interested in just donating, please do reach out to me You can reach out to me at Victoria Art League, or you could just go on the actual VTX Art Walk site.
Gotcha. And you're Victoria. You have a Facebook page as well. You watch that and stuff, and so they can reach out to you there also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
good deal. Well, thank you so much. I always have fun when we get together, and I always feel like I learned something, and you definitely have your finger on the pulse of things, you know, with downtown and all that. And so, well done, and we absolutely support you on it, and look forward to having you on again. And
well, thanks for having me on the show. Yes,
ma'am. Thanks for coming in. Guys, we will take a quick break, get a word from our sponsor, and be right back with you.
Since 1932, Wallach & Volk has been closing mortgages and doing it the right way. The reason why the Volks opened up a bank at the height of the Great Depression was because the bank needed to be opened at the height of the Great Depression. And it was good for the community at that time. A lot of the banks were going under. In order to keep that community sound and stable, it was something that they did. I think that says something about who Wallach & Volk was 85 years ago. And the only way you get to continue to do it is if you consistently do it great. And we plan on doing this for another 85 years.
All right, we are back. If you've been watching my show at all, you know this young lady is one of my favorites. She comes on, she wears a lot of hats in the community, does a lot of different things. Miss Meredith, thank you as always for coming in. But for the 4 people in Victoria that don't know who you are, tell them one more time. And today you are here with the Farmers Market. And so, yeah, do tell.
So I'm here today on behalf of the Victoria Farmers Market. And we're open every Saturday at the Patty Dodson Center at 9 o'clock. And so I'd love to talk to you just about the market itself and what kind of products we have and such, and how we support local farms and small businesses.
Well, good. My wife is a huge fan of that. She likes taking my son up there.
Yes,
she likes
she
taking
does.
her. Yeah, and she comes home. It works for me too because I get a few minutes at home by myself, get to hang out, but then she comes in with all these goodies and stuff that she loads up. But I think in the concept of it is wonderful. You know, as fresh foods, homegrown, local grown things, and all that. But then the health side of it, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, COVID and all the other things, I think being healthy and eating healthy is something huge that's far too often overlooked. And you know, with stores like H-E-B and stuff like that experiencing food shortages and all of this, I think it's more crucial than ever that we support our local farmers and our local growers and all of that. So kind of, if you wouldn't mind, maybe tell me kind of the average makeup, or tell me about some of the vendors, or just what makes the farmers market so special.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I'd love to start with the food shortage that
Talk
you mentioned.
to me. Yes, ma'am.
So, in under 1 year, Victoria experienced 2 food shortages. The first one in March 2020 due to COVID, when everything was starting to shut down. The second one this past February with the freeze. And so both of those times, stores were overrun with customers buying everything they could, and then they couldn't restock because, due to COVID, there were shutdowns going on, and everything, like all the industries, were just shutting down. Now with the freeze this past February, the roads were literally closed, and trucks physically couldn't get in to restock the shelves. And so each time, the farmers market was just overrun with customers and a lot of new faces seeking us out as a source of foods because they were going to our area retailers and finding the shelves just empty. And so I think that does underscore the importance of a local food source when, and not necessarily depending on, regional or national, or international foods coming in and being trucked in. And so we were very proud to provide that service to Victoria. And it, like I said, it underscores our importance of, these local farms, these small businesses, these people who make food, who bake, who raise cattle, who raise vegetables, being a source of food for our community. And so right now the farmers market has, I think, 51 or 52 members. Not everybody attends every week. We do have some diehard vendors who are there week in, week out, every Saturday. And then we have other vendors who come every, 2, 3, 4 weeks, give or take. We offer everything from seasonal produce. So, this time of year, it's so hot. Peppers and okra, those sort of things that can take the heat, are what we typically have. We're not going to have broccoli this time of year. We're not even going to have tomatoes this time of year. It's just too hot. But once we get into the fall, then that's sort of our second spring, where we have all the spring vegetables. Again, we'll have all the tomatoes, squash, we'll have carrots, all just this gorgeous array of fresh local produce. And then in addition to seasonal produce, we have a wide variety of meats. We have people who raise chickens, they raise goats, sheep, cows, pigs, and so we just have almost every meat under the sun that you could be looking for, which isn't something people necessarily think of when they think of a farmer's market. They think of going for vegetables and maybe like pickles and jellies, which we do have. We've got a great, a large number of vendors who make a ton of homemade foods. So homemade salsas, homemade pickles, homemade jellies, breads and pastries, and then even things like goat's milk soaps and Bath and Body products, lotions, and those sort of things. And we have so much that I really encourage everybody to come check us out. Everybody at the market has to be from within 100 miles of Victoria. Everybody is required to only sell what you grow, raise, or make yourself. So we're not allowing anybody to buy something and turn around and pass it off as their own. If you're buying meat, it's from that vendor's animals. If you're buying vegetables, it's from their garden, from their fields. And we're really proud of that. We're very strict with, the requirements of our farmers and our businesses who are a part of the market. And it gives us a lot of integrity. And we get a lot of great feedback from our customers who, they don't want to go to a farmer's market and see stickers on a fruit or a vegetable. That means, it came from a wholesaler. They want to know that if I'm buying from you, I can talk to you about how do you control pests? Do you spray pesticides? How do you fertilize? How was this meat raised? Tell me, how do you use antibiotics? They can get the information straight from the source about how their food was raised, and that's really important to a lot of our customers.
Well, I think that's huge, and I think what a lot of people take for granted is just that when they go to H-E-B, everything is going to be there, that
Yes.
the shelves are going to be full, and I don't think a lot of people realize how fragile our supply lines are, and how just one small catastrophe here or there, or some world event can just all of a sudden think toilet paper's gone, meat's gone,
Yes.
this is gone, all these things are gone, and you know, and to me it just seems hugely beneficial to have local providers to provide those things, and to know and be able to talk to the person that's providing these, and understand where the nutritional side is and how they've done these things, which is, the older I get, the more things like my diet become important to me. And you know, if you caught me 15 years ago, I'd mow through just about anything I could get my hands on, and you know, I still do, but now I'm at least trying to put up speed bumps and slow down and figure out what I'm actually ingesting and eating and stuff. And I'll tell you, like, you know, I'll use eggs for example. When I first bought a farm egg from one of my friends, and or actually we got them there at the farmer's market. I didn't want to eat it at first because it looked.
Was
what
it
do I
too
want
orange?
this brown? Well, it was a brown egg and it's all orange, and I was like, that looks. I eat white eggs, and like that looked gross to me, you know. I didn't realize how backwards my thinking was. Is that farm? That's the good egg, not the store-bought modified white one. It's the farm egg, and as I've embraced that more and kind of educated myself on it, I realize how a lot of times how much more nutritious that food is, how much better it is for you, and to support. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if we don't support our farmers, they're not going to continue to exist. And if those supply lines break down, all we have here is each other.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's hugely beneficial to not only support them, but to support them to the point where they can grow and continue to feed us, to where if we lose those, you know, chains coming in, those supplies, that we can take care and feed ourselves, you know. And so I just think that's, a lot of people don't think about that, and
Until you're faced with, you know, the issues that we've had over the past year and a half, where, you know, you do find yourself facing empty shelves at the store, and what do you do in that case?
No, I totally agree, and I appreciate what you're doing, and I appreciate all the vendors, and is there anything I'm forgetting that we haven't talked about that we need to do to support them?
You know, really, if you can follow us on Facebook, it's just Victoria Farmers Market on Facebook. Every Friday, I post a list of the vendors who will be there that Saturday and exactly what they're bringing.
Wonderful.
And so that
Get
is
there early.
Yes, absolutely. We open at 9, and social media has just been a great thing for us. It's a great way to let our customers know exactly, you know, who's coming, what's going on, any events that we have coming up, highlight, you know, our vendors, and maybe spur you to try a new product that you hadn't tried before. Go up and talk to someone at the market that you hadn't spoken to before, and ask them, you know, about the bees that make the honey in those jars, and you know, I appreciate you letting me come on and you know, tell everybody about the market, because I'm so proud of it, and I think we've got a great group of people who sell with us, and I can't thank our customers enough, because they've really come out in droves, even through COVID. We were able to stay open and able to keep serving our customers and recruit new customers. It's just, I'm so thankful for everything surrounding this market and everybody who's involved with it, and including you for helping us, you know, helping promote it. This is huge, so thank you.
Well, it's our honor, and we're proud of you guys, and your passion is evident for it, and we appreciate what you're doing. And guys, make sure you get out there and support them. This is a huge deal that we have. It's a great thing, and so, but they need your support. And I promise you'll come out the winner if you go out there and it's delicious stuff. It's homegrown. It's local. Go support them. Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our final guest. All right, guys, we are back with my third and final guest, and boy, she's got some cool stuff going on, and all of these notes, and so I'm gonna let her get right to it.
Okay.
Introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and then let's get to all of this fun stuff.
Okay, sure. I'm Bethany Castro. I'm the Executive Director at Perpetual Help Home. We're a home for women here in town, helping women to transition out of homelessness. So I've been there for 3 years, and just really excited about our upcoming event, Taste of the Town.
Yeah, these things do really well here, and you guys have grown from your last one and seen a lot of positive progress. And so let's rewind it back a little bit and tell me, let's just start at the beginning. What is Taste of the Town?
So I went to a festival in Goliad called the Taste of Goliad 2018 probably, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. They just have a bunch of different restaurants come out. They offer small little samples, and you get really full because you try food from everywhere. I told my board about this idea, and one of my board members just moved from Lake Jackson, and she was like, we have to go. They have an event like that. So we went there. In Lake Jackson, they closed down the whole mall. People are giving out whole slices of pizza, whole chicken fingers. Like, it's the place to be.
All right.
And so it just really blew my mind and made it seem possible. And I was like, why doesn't Victoria have something like this? And so through painstaking work and heartbreak, we really planned that first event for 2019, November. We sold like half of our tickets in the last week of the event, which we're coming up, this is like our last week before the event, so get your tickets now. And we had just under 400 people come in November of 2019. We had 16 food vendors come out, offer small samples, and it just seemed like everyone had a really great time.
So it's time to learn from the first time and get better the second time.
Yeah, so we didn't have one in 2020, obviously, because of COVID, and so this year we've been planning for this for months, and we're gonna have it on August 29th, Sunday, from 5 to 8 p.m.
Outstanding. Well, talk me through. So again, so you're gonna have all your vendors, and
Yes.
and let's just say I show up there and I'm hungry, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
So kind of how's it flow?
Don't worry, we will have people and lots of signs to direct you.
Yes, that's
so
what I'm talking
we
about.
would hope people would have their tickets ahead of time, so we just have a really good idea of ticket count. You can get them online, or you can purchase them in person at both Victory Buick GMC car dealership and
Okay.
Victory Kia.
Okay. But can they get them on site if they're not able
They
to do them in
can, yes.
advance?
So
Okay.
we'll have some tickets there day of. So you'll walk up, they're $20 each, and then you'll basically get in line. We're gonna have 2 lines. Last time we only had one, kind of going in the annex of the community center and then also the dome of the community center, just to
Okay.
allow for a better traffic flow. So you're gonna turn in your ticket, you get a big old plate and a thing of cutlery, and then you go in and you just start collecting samples from all the different vendors. Fill up your plate with lots of tiny taste of food. You can eat as you go, I guess, or you can sit down and enjoy it all at once. And then you just kind of get to try everything from everywhere. So we have 18 vendors signed up right now.
Whoa,
Which I'm
wow.
so excited about. Can I tell you who they are?
Talk to me, yes, let me hear
This
it.
is like me just listing lots of things. So we have Raising Cane's, Grapevine Cafe, HEB Plus, Sweet Fountains Bakery, Tasty Tower Gardens, Yamato, Dickey's Barbecue, Cherry Berry, Ventura's Tamales, Mumford's Barbecue, Newt's Thai, Texas Roadhouse, Nutrifuel Smoothies, Paravita, Clean Plate, Health Bar by Complete 360, Cookies by Design, and Bush's Chicken.
Dude, but that's an impressive list, and it's a lot of work by these vendors, I'm sure, to get out and that's why it's so important. I would guess to get your tickets in advance
Right.
too, so they have somewhat of an idea.
Right.
Because a guy like me comes through that line, I would be the guy you were talking about that would eat as I go. So by
Yeah.
the time I got to the end of the line, my plate would be empty, and I would have to start all over again. I'm thinking, but
Yeah.
I shouldn't tell people to do that because that's my plan. Don't take all my food. But no, all joking aside, how many restaurants did y'all have last time on this?
Last time we had 16, but they were definitely like smaller places. We had a few food trucks that people just didn't really know a lot about. And so this year, I was so impressed with the response from restaurants because they're bigger places. They're we've got Ventura's Tamales. We've got big local names and big other names like HEB coming out to offer samples. And so I really think for guys like you, you're going to go through the line, fill up your plate and eat, and you might be full.
Yeah, there's 18 restaurants.
Yeah.
There's even a guy like me might get full. The bottomless pit of
And so one thing that I think is very interesting, last time we only rented out the dome, but this time we're renting out the dome and the annex. People are going to go in both sides and then cross in the hall to go get more samples from other places because we just couldn't fit them all in the dome at this time.
What an incredible problem to have. But you know what? That's a sign of your hard work and your passion for it. And so good job. It's never easy to put on an event, and especially when you start combining 18 different restaurants, and then you've got all of your sponsors over here, and then you've got that's a lot of work, but it's for a good cause. And tell me some. I know we glossed over it in the very beginning, but tell me about Perpetual Help Home and what you all's mission is, and break that down just a little bit for me, because this is all for Perpetual Help Home, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's one of our 3 major fundraisers. So Perpetual Help Home is that transitional home for women. So women come to us when they're homeless. It can be a variety of circumstances, financial reasons, family problems, abuse issues. We have a lot of women that are working with CPS to get custody of their children back, people that are recovering from drug use issues. And so we have 17 rooms there on our property where women can come and live. And if they have kids, the kids can live with them as they get to work and they start to save money to get back on their feet. We're really big on working. And so all of our women are required to work or go to school full time or do a combination of both. And so
So it's not necessarily a handout, but a hand up,
100%.
and a learning environment to help try to better yourself.
Right, exactly, 100%. That was the part when I applied for this job that I was so impressed by the organization. I was like, I want to be a part of this. I have to be a part of this. And the women that we work with are some of the grittiest, most persevering women I know, and I'm proud to know them.
Well, you know, it's easy to get knocked on your rear end because it happens to all of us, and life can happen very quickly, and your best laid goals and plans for your life can suddenly just be shattered in an instant. And sometimes reaching out and asking for help is the hardest part, and especially females, I would say a lot of the times they don't know where to turn, or they have an abusive spouse or an ex or all these bad situations. And one of the things that I thought was neat about you guys was the work aspect, because I'm all for helping people, and I genuinely believe in that, but I don't like helping people that don't want to help themselves or expect something handed to them versus going out and earning or bettering and stuff like that. And so I think that's a great side of what you all do, because it's, you know, what is that, the old, you know, Bible verse is you know, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, but teach him to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And I probably butchered that, but the point remains, you know, and so I think that's good that you all do that, and then to have an event that you can involve so many restaurants and so many, because that gives everybody an opportunity to know about who you are, but also to give back. And I'm a big believer of growing through giving. I think that that's a spectacular thing. And so give me the final, before we run out of time here, give me, or you just go, you got all these notes and you talk to me. Yeah, you tell me what's next. Go ahead, young lady.
I think the biggest thing I cannot, you know, kind of wrap up without saying is we have 12 event sponsors, and that's more than we had, I think, ever in any event we've ever done. So I just want to give them a shout out.
Please do.
So we have all the Victory dealerships here in town. So Victory Buick and GMC and Victory Kia, Victoria Area Nurse Practitioners Group, Crossroads Bank, Lucy's Bunch out of Karnes County, Victoria Auto Dealers, Frost Bank, South Star Wealth Management, Gulf Coast Car Wash, Office Systems, Lyondell-Basell, Chick-fil-A, Prosperity Bank, and KMH Wealth Management, and Keller and Associates.
Wow.
It's amazing to see the enthusiasm for our event and for our mission.
Well, and right now a lot of people have already spent their advertising money and stuff like that. So to find this many sponsors that are still willing to help, that's really a blessing.
Yeah.
Final thing before we go, I think we're going to do a giveaway, aren't we?
Yes, I really want to. So I know a lot of my friends are super excited about your event show, and so I want to reward them for watching, right?
Well, I appreciate that, and I bet you they will appreciate that also.
So I have 2 general admission tickets. They're worth $20 each, so $40 total, that we'd love to do a giveaway for. So if you're okay with that, I'd like to do a drawing towards the end of next week.
I like that. Okay. So guys, we will post in the paragraph below or above, wherever they put the paragraph when you watch this. We will put we're probably going to do the like, share thingy that you'll see. You're familiar with it. So when you see this, look in the paragraph, you'll find the directions, and we will be giving these away. I'm guessing Thursday, but I'm not for sure yet, but later in the week. And so wonderful, and thank you again for all that you do. You're an inspiration, and your passion for what you do and how hard you work is always very evident.
Thank you so much.
I'm very grateful to you. Anything else?
Come out and eat.
Yes, ma'am. That's a perfect ending. Come out and eat. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We are very grateful for you. We appreciate you. Thank you to all of our guests, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. Make sure you comment down below, like the post, share the post. It really helps the algorithms. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow our page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And if you have an event coming on you want featured on Victoria Events, shoot us a message. We'd love to help you get the word out there. Lastly, make sure you support our sponsors. We could not do this show without them, so we're very grateful. Thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll see you at the next one.